everybody. Look down below, hit the subscribe button. I am so thankful for all of you who show me your support by subscribing to Shannon Confidential on YouTube. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shannon Confidential. I am Shannon, your host, and Shannon Confidential is a podcast about life, love, and everything in between. And today's in between is going to be full of joy. So if you're in the mood to just hear some really happy stuff today and just a life full of happiness, today is your episode, because we are going to be talking to no other than Joy Resor. And she is a minister. She is an author. She is a spiritual direction counselor, mentor. She has books. I've read them. They're just so uplifting. She wants to help anybody who's hurting. She wants them to find peace and love and happiness and joy in their lives. She's got a whole movement she's trying to do. She has children's books. She's got merchandise that she makes purely out of joy. I promise you. This is going to be just an episode of just love and kindness and joy. And we're going to hear all about it coming up next with Joy Resor. All right, everybody, here she is, Joy Resor. This is the peace, love, and happiness. This is going to be such a joyful, joyous, most joyable podcast episode ever. What a way to start my day. Joy, thank you so much for being on Shannon Confidential. I am so excited to bring you to all of our listeners and viewers. So welcome.
Thank you so much, Shannon. I'm honored that you found me and that we could have this conversation today.
Oh, gosh, Joy, I'm just so glad you're here. I can't wait. You got to tell everybody your backstory, how you got this far, what you're doing. I just want to show you. I've got them. I'm reading them. I have my bookmark. I love this stuff. It's just such happiness. So, Joy, tell everybody, how did you come to all of this joy, your books and all of your doing, your movements, everything that you're about to tell everybody in this episode?
Oh, I guess that story is that, like so many of us, we are born as divine sparks of divinity. However, the culture, the parents, the teachers, I have goosebumps saying it, but we get covered over. We get told, be quiet, go over here, all of these things. And we develop these egos. Ego separates us from everybody. It makes us feel that we are alone and small. And I had all of that happen to me. So my particular story is that I was born as the second daughter, who had my days and nights mixed up when we were on an Air Force base in peacetime, way north in Maine. It's called Loring Air Force Base. I was awake all night. My older sister was awake all day, and my mother started going bananas.
I bet. I have two kids. I bet.
Yeah. And sleep deprivation. So we don't know. I will never know. Was I communing with God? Was I tuning out my sister's toddler shenanigans during the day? Because I was born sensitive. So I have a feeling I just had to close her out. I'm going to sleep. She's too noisy. So I was awake at night. Anyway, they were able to find a crib for me in a base hospital for a certain amount of time. Growing up then, my older sister sassed this very painful litany at me, which she said when I was writing my book and I talked with her, she said, Dad probably uttered it as a joke. And then I picked it up. And it was, Mom and Dad put you back in the hospital because you cried too much. Then they got the wrong baby back. You really don't belong in our family.
Wow. Oh,
So
Joy. Ouch.
I
Ouch.
know, ouch, ouch. And I have goosebumps, and I was given, and I could see it now as the biggest gift, because it was this extreme separation. And, you know, the reason we're here is that God sent out these sparks of the whole creation, the whole universe. He created us and separated us from himself, herself. But it was just a joke, because we are never separate from divinity. I I lived that extreme joke for decades into my 50s, until I have been led to heal that cosmic joke that we're not separate.
Okay.
And divinity actually visited me in 2011. I was having a very powerful physical experience that a couple days before, my Pilates instructor said, Joy, I practically saw light coming out of your feet and your head. You are so aligned.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Thank you. And I used to be like this. I was in fear. And, so I had gotten very aligned. The next day, I just felt like I was walking differently in the world. And the following day, I was out with my first post-divorce boyfriend. And what happened was, these words came from me, but I know they were above me. So in other words, they came from my higher self to him.
Okay.
And they were, I'm going to go inside this week, take a week retreat. So I'm not going to be communicating with you. I woke up the next, and he's like, okay, he was always, okay, whatever, Joy. And I woke up the next morning, a Sunday, with this knowing to gather all of his low vibrational items in my house, make them in a pile. And I knew where his coffee filters were, where his razor was. He spent time over at my house. And then I went to this spiritual center that I often went to. And during the meditation, I was being shocked at my wrists and my ankles. So what I feel is this energy was waking up in me. I stood up during the meditation because I was so uncomfortable.
Because you could
When
feel
I,
everything.
pardon me?
Because you could feel the shocks.
Yeah, I was being shocked. It was like mini lightning going in my ankles and my wrists. I mean, my ankles and my wrists. And when I came home, I intuitively understood I need to ground. I went barefoot and walked around on the grass to give this energy, to ground myself to Mother Earth. And then I was having this retreat time. I went inside, I wrote in my journal. I have a beautiful box of angel cards. It's a book, and I drew angel cards and read the book and played spiritual music that I love, probably moved around my living room, sat and journaled, sat in the silence, closed my eyes, just was with everything I understood. And I have lived in synchronicity for so long, where you have something happen inside you and then something happens outside you. And it just feels like the most like magic, the connections. I feel now so clear, but I was called into I went to take a bath, and it was in the bathtub that I received a beautiful gift of a visitation from something that called itself the all. Then I dried off and we continued in the bedroom, where I had the most orgasmic experience of what something coming into me, which I believe is my higher self, came into me that night. So it doesn't live up here anymore. I am one with my higher self, which this means that what I felt immediately after that all happened was I had, for the first time in over 50 years, I had this comfort. What is that expression? In my own skin.
You're comfortable in your own skin.
I was comfortable in my own skin. Where years before, if I was going on a date, I would put 6 outfits. I would try them. Nothing felt right. I didn't feel right.
You know, I have to tell you, as I don't know, maybe guys have to go through this. I have no idea, but I know as women, when we're going on dates, and I can tell you now, being, I am very, very comfortable in my own skin. I dress for me. If other people like it, great. But I dress for me. But I see my friends try on things over and over and over and over. And they're so concerned about how that's going to be perceived that they're not even dressing what makes them comfortable. So when I hear you say you are comfortable in your own skin, that is such a monumental statement on so many levels, because until you are comfortable in your own skin, you can do nothing. You're constantly living for something else or something that isn't there, or an opinion or someone else's ego. So it's so beautiful to hear you say you came to that moment where you're comfortable in your own skin, because it is so powerful.
This is such a goosebumpy conversation with you. We are human spiritual individuals. We're spirits having a human experience. So some of us are more in our ego as a human. Some of us are less in our ego as a human, as a spirit having a human experience. And I think that this whole time I've had the birth name Joy, I've been a human with not a lot of heavy ego. So I have been lightening and brightening lives my whole life. I've got this beautiful wand that has moons and stars in it. I got this many years ago. It's on my desk.
Well, now that you have, you're comfortable in your own skin, you are enlightened, you're lighter, you're brighter, you realize you're bringing joy. When did you decide to go to write your books and everything that came from that? So we'll start with your books.
My time is best used with the gift I have the most practiced, which is writing. I've practiced it every day. I'm such a writer. I used to have ideas about, oh my gosh, I could write for people that want to say something to someone else, but their heart's not really open and they don't know how to say it. I'll say it for you. I have said things for people, but I let them change it, or they could do what they want with it. I give them ideas of how to express, because I know how to express with clarity and truth, because this is what love does.
Yes, it does. It opens you up.
This was the first version that came out in 2014. I sent you the second version because this one is more complete, let's say.
Okay.
This one was good. People benefited. I gave them away. This one's more complete. Ever since the first book came, I've been awake to my creativity, that all those naysayers in my past who said I wrote drivel and I couldn't write, and well, patooey. No, yeah. I write in a very conversational style that people say, Joy, it's like you're in the room talking with me.
You do. You definitely write that way.
So I've written books. I even wrote one, Shannon, that I didn't mail to you because this one is out of print, but it's available as an ebook, and people find it highly beneficial. I will note that this book, it was all synchronicities that led to writing this, and it wrote itself through me with power and play in 2 weeks.
Well, good for you.
I'm telling you, it's filled with journaling prompts and space to write.
And I'll tell everybody, I'll make sure everything that Joy has talked about, her books, this book, the ebook, anything that, she speaks about, I will have linked up below us in the show notes. So you can contact her, you can follow her, you can order the books. Everything Joy related will be below us in the show notes.
But I have also contributed essays to this beautiful Amazon best-selling book.
Okay.
365 soulful messages, the right guidance at the right time.
Okay.
And the essay about how that journal came to be is in this book. I answered a call to write a chapter in this book, Wholehearted Wonder Women 50 Plus, Courage, Confidence, and Creativity at Any Age. I wrote a chapter in this book, Find Your Voice, Save Your Life 3. Oh, my finger's over it, that says Powerful Healers, Spiritual Stories. My spiritual story is there. And I wrote a chapter last year in The Ultimate Guide of Self-Healing, Volume 5, a chapter about having a daily spiritual practice.
Okay.
If we are spirits having a human experience, should we not have a spiritual practice that serves our humanness? I think that would be a very good idea. You can't pull anyone over the bridge. The people have to cross the bridge themselves. But the thing is, it is so worth it. I would not trade one iota of the pain and suffering of my life, because who I am now rocks.
I've got goosebumps. I get you, girl. That is so true. That is so true.
Because I love myself. My heart is open. I serve who enters my arena, my field. A person needs something. When I'm so following messages of love, it's easy for me to feel kind of high.
Yeah.
Because messages of love are a high vibration, a high vibration. And I just remind my human self to be careful. I named a prayer. Dear God, create in me the joy I am created to be.
Beautiful.
Thank you. I wanted to be authentically, fully me. I understood this 30 years ago as what we are meant to become not somebody that someone wants us to be or thinks we should be, but who we actually authentically are. To grow myself up, to stop hiding my light. I had valued invisibility. Now I value visibility.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Who we are of the light, the love, the joy, we need to shine that into the world through our creations, through who we are, because there's enough negativity, enough hatred, fear, greed, all the dark, the low vibrational stuff. It's here, but we don't need to give it any value. Hello. Another thing is healing our inner critics. There's a tool for that in my books because I paid a lot of money to get that tool that I used to heal being beaten up from the inside. That has to stop.
Yes.
Because with a quiet mind and an open heart, we are, we're happy campers.
That is so true. So true.
Because we could create whatever we feel called to create. I have ideas. I will never run out of ideas of how to extend who I am into the world, but I don't have to do it all today or in 2022.
No.
You know?
No.
So I'm on the path of expression and creation, love. You are a light bringing more light, and how fabulous. I love what you're creating, Shannon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I try. Yeah, I just want to say that this has been so joyful, so uplifting, such a nice message in a time where we don't always hear such nice messages. And your story is so beautiful, and just listening to how you evolved and knowing there's so much more joy to come. I'm so excited. I love your books. I will link everybody up. I am just truly, truly thankful that you took time out of your day and out of your moments to be a guest on Shannon Confidential. I'm better for it. Thank you.
Oh, Shannon, that I'm grateful that you reached out to me and that we could share this visit today. So thank you.